Have you ever asked yourself, when you take hundreds of photos and even videos with your mobile cell phone and you end up only posting maybe 3 or 2, the rest are deleted, where do they go to? Let me answer you. They go to a data storage center of the mobile phone manufacturer. And that's why the UK government wants you to delete all the emails, heavy attachments, photos and videos, because the data storage centers are consuming a lot of energy and electricity. And that means when heat or electricity is involved, heat is released, and heat needs cooling. And cooling is either it's by water, and when that happens, the heat is either released on ground, in the air, or still on ground and in water. And that will cause something called digital pollution. And that's why you're being urged as well to avoid heavy content in your mobile phone, declutter your mobile phone as well, reduce heavy uploads, especially that touch on emails, and also consider the shelf life of your mobile cell phone, because this again touches on mobile phone manufacturers now with artificial intelligence systems and manufacturing industries consuming a lot of energy, electricity. Huge amounts of water is being consumed, and that again means that there's something called water pollution. Well, we'll talk about digital pollution shortly and how you can avoid it, but I want us to listen to this short report and then we're gonna react to the rest.
The UK government wants you to delete your old screenshots. Not like that, but to save water. And if you're wondering what your screenshots have to do with saving water, let me explain. Just up the river here sit dozens of data centres, which store all sorts of digital material like photos and emails. They use large amounts of water in 2 ways. Firstly, to generate electricity to keep the centres running, and secondly, to keep the thousands of hard drives that store the materials cool.
When you look at what's happening right now with big tech companies like Apple, I believe there's this one that's producing these computer chips for robotics, and now with Tesla and whatnot, the conversation is around shifting to green energy, green tech solutions to avoid, release of carbon oxide into the air. And that's why we have a COP30 that's happening in Brazil, in Belém. The conversation again is centered on, it's educating, civic education for developing countries as well as high industrialized countries to embrace green energy. And that's where things like digital pollution are now going to be a menace. It's going to be a conversation till kingdom come, because we're heading into some sort of like utopia, dystopia, where the techies, this super giant techies are going to take over. And that means we're going to experience a lot of, I'd say, heat waves, because when heat waves are triggered, that means there's a lot of electricity being involved, and the signaling and the wavelength, and that can cause, I'd say, cancer. So we are at risk, and also you're being told to just declutter your mobile cell phones. Ensure that you also consider the shelf life of your mobile devices, especially those that use data, because even internet service providers are using energy to transmit and ensure that mobile signals and wavelength is sustained. So there's some sort of magnetic energy in the air, and that's why we're experiencing high rates of cancer and just many other indescribable diseases. Now where does those photos and the screenshots you take and videos you delete go to? What's your reaction? I'd love to hear from you.